Hi beauties! Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be creating a glam grunge look inspired by the Beetlejuice sequel that just came out. Begin by applying a moisturizer of your choice. I like this one lately that I've found on Amazon. It has minimal ingredients and absorbs extremely quickly. There are benefits to using yam cream. This is Eucerin, that's a lip balm, but it recently went viral because it helps to prevent creasing for concealer. Let's apply it underneath our eyes here. Next, I'm applying this e.l.f.'s Blemish Fighting Putty with anti-acne ingredients. Scrape a little bit of the putty out of the jar using a tool instead of your fingers. You can see that the putty melts into a very nice and shiny balm, giving some radiance to the skin. Filling in pores, it looks completely smooth. Allow for the putty to settle on your skin and move on to do something else. Here I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Then I'm going to apply a few generous coats of this lash primer from Dior. I love the brush and I love the way that it plumps up the look of the mascara. While the lash primer is setting, move on to the concealer step. Apply a thin layer of concealer in a nice light shade underneath your brow. Blend right into the hairs so that there's no excess product. This will give a very clean, sculpted look to your eyebrows. Blend the excess concealer with a nice fluffy brush. On my eyelids, I'm going to be using this white Wet n Wild cream stick. This will allow for the eyeshadow to adhere and show its brilliant color. Applying this product onto a brush and then onto your eyelid will create a more smooth effect. Once you have on your eye base, we're going to go ahead and pat in a light color on the lid all over. Next, add the highlight to the under eye and the inner corner of the eye with this halo palette from Essence. Now for the fun part, I'm using this Morphe Up Till Dawn Artistry palette in 35A to add some depth to the corner of my eyes. Pat on the color and blend up into the crease. After that step, you will go ahead and take a lighter color of the green from the palette and tap that right on top of the deeper green color you added before. This will make it look like you spent a lot of time blending. Add a touch of a deeper green color into the crease at the edge to make the eye look a little bit elongated. Blend, 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 and then take some micellar water and a Q-tip and cut the line as sharp as possible. Next, I'm using my all-time favorite liquid eyeliner by Essence Cosmetics. It has a really sharp tip and gets complete precision every time. I start in the inner corner, building up a little bit thicker over the pupil, and then swoop down over the outer lashes. Tilt your head back and look into a handheld mirror for this step. This will help you to prevent excess blinking and get a smoother line. Now on to complexion, using Studio Fix by MAC in NC10 and a little bit of this NYX highlighter, I'm using a small fluffy brush to cover any little blemishes. Then it's time for concealer. Here I'm using my favorite concealer, YSL's All Hours Concealer in LC1. I love this concealer because of the texture. It just starts a little bit liquidy and then almost sets to a powder that's completely long wear. I still set this concealer with a little touch of powder. I do love the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting powder that's in my hand there, but it really doesn't require as much powder as other concealers can. Before I completely blend this concealer, I'm going to move on to let it evaporate a little bit more. I move on to use my Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow Film Star palette, and I'm just going to be sculpting the edges of my complexion, adding some life and contour to the face. Moving on to brows, I'm using this neutral brown color in an e.l.f. pencil, a very skinny one, to draw individual hairs in the direction that the hair grows. Sculpt hair by hair, filling in little spots that need it, then brush through to complete the look. By this time, your concealer is ready to be blended into the rest of your face. Gently pat and warm in the concealer with your finger, slowly and gradually until it looks completely blurred. After the concealer is blended and melted into the skin, take a fluffy brush and pat in some setting powder. Finish your makeup look by defining your lip line with a little bit of concealer around the circumference of your lips. Buffer out the excess product, set with a little bit of powder, and then you're ready to go ahead and build your bold lip. But let's move on to mascara quickly, and here I'm using the Essence Lash Princess brush with the formula of the Call Me Queen. I find that I still prefer the brush from Lash Princess, but the formula from Call Me Queen is pretty amazing. Here I'm defining my eyeline with a little bit of Essence's gel liner in black, buffering out the excess pigment just to look a little more smooth. Then it's time for contour. Using a pointed, fluffy brush, add a bit of the brown shadow down the sides of your nose, along the tip of the nose, and if you like to round out your nose, you can do almost like a little ball on the tip of the nose as well. Here I'm adding some soft contour with the same Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow Film Star palette. Blending the contour softly into the hairline and just above the ear. Do the same on the other side, blending all the way into the ear and temple. After, with what's left on the brush, you can also go down the side of your jaw and underneath to sculpt. Next, I'm using these transforming liquid drops to create an eyeliner out of a powdered eyeshadow. This product is by Trish McAvoy. Off camera, I had mixed a few of the drops with a powdered eyeshadow. Here I've done the same thing with a darker shadow, and it's allowing me to trace my crease easily. Defining the crease in this way is very indicative of the 1960s. Reminding me a little bit of Twiggy. Here I'm using the same gel eyeliner that's a long wear and waterproof, just as a lip liner. I didn't feel I was going to do this look enough to invest in a black lip liner, but they do exist, and I would recommend it if you are going to wear it often. Smile slightly to find symmetry, trace the circumference of your lip, and then use the side of the pencil to feather in a little bit of coverage. Now on to eyelashes. Using Duo Clear Eyelash Glue with the wand, put a few coats of eyelash glue on the band of your eyelash and allow it to get a little bit tacky. When the glue is ready, use a handheld mirror, tilt your head back, and while looking down, place the lash strip in the center of the lashes, adhere the end, then anchor the inner corner. To add a touch of glam to this grungy look, I'm using Flower Food Bear Glittering Eyeliner to add a pop of shine. Trace well above the black line as to not disrupt its definition. Go slowly and add as much glitter as you like. After I've completed the look, I've applied this wig with a lace front, and you can see that it's almost seamless. I have a tutorial about how to apply the lace front wig, and I will link that video at the end. Before we go, I'm going to add a little bit of life with this Essence blush and NYX highlighter. Smile slightly as you apply, and dust whatever's left on the brush underneath your jaw. Lastly, add a highlighting gloss. This one is from About Face, and you're all done. I hope you enjoyed this Glam Grunge tutorial that I wore to the new Beetlejuice movie, Beetlejuice 2. It didn't disappoint, and I would highly recommend. Bye for now.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Don't say it again. Not 3 times.